Hmm. Let's talk about the Lions. Let's talk about the Packers. Let's talk about the Vikings, and let's talk about the Bears, right? So this is our continue of division talk, right? I told you we talked about the AFC North, so check that out if you haven't already on the previous episode. Talking about the NFC North now, those four teams and what I see and the expectations. So let's start. Let's start with the Minnesota Vikings, right? So the Minnesota Vikings, they got Sam Darnold. They went out, drafted my guy JJ McCarthy, go blue, to be the successor. I don't think necessarily he's not going to play week one. Maybe he might get some time before the season is over. But they drafted, JJ McCarthy. Look, they're looking for a replacement for Kirk Cousins. They still have, talent there. They picked up Aaron Jones, which I think is still, a quality running back. I think, Justin Jefferson, no matter who the quarterback is, he's going to be able to do his thing. They got TJ Hawkinson. They got this kid Addison. He got some things that, he needs to get together. But even their coach, I like Kevin O'Connell. I like what he's done. I like what flavor he's brought, to the Minnesota Vikings. I just truly just think that this is going to be a learning curve, right? Sam Darnold is going to, lead the way. I don't have any specific expectations from Sam Darnold. I think with Sam Darnold, he's going to give you so much. And this plan is to get JJ in there at some point. That's no secret. That's no shade, against them. But this year is the year of building, right? Not rebuild. I'm not gonna say rebuild. The year of building for the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go on to a team that is building, and they've built up a lot to build up some offseason expectations and some hype, and that's the Chicago Bears. So the Chicago Bears obviously drafting Caleb Williams, number one. They went and moved on from Justin Fields. And then they added a lot of talent around him, getting Keenan Allen to go with DJ Moore. Then they draft Rome from Washington as well. So you got a nice three-headed monster there. Cole Kmet, don't forget about Cole Kmet. And then they picked up, DeAndre Swift. Now they still have, if I remember correctly, I think they have Montez Sweat that they got from Washington to go on the defensive side as well. Jalen Johnson, he was a baller last year, so he's back, on this team. So this Chicago team looks good on paper. But we've seen this plenty of times. You can look the greatest, if you will, on paper. You still got a guy, coming in as a rookie quarterback. Could he be like CJ Stroud? Possibly. I wouldn't put it past, Caleb to do that, but there's a lot of things, with CJ in Houston, there's a lot of things that had to be done to go right, for them, how they flip that script. But I do think that they see that they got the right guy, the right quarterback. He has the right mindset. Definitely. He has shown, that he's a leader. You can believe in him. He believes in it. He believes in himself. So I think the Chicago Bears, I just think it's going to be this. It's going to be rocky, right? You're going to see the signs of what you expected from this, this Bears offense. I'll say that on the offensive side of the ball, but there will be some ups and downs. NFC North is not going to be easy, to say the least, on it. I was just talking about the Packers and Jordan Love getting his money. Now let me just talk about the team. I've said this before. The team is where they are. I thought where they finished the season was kind of how they were going to start the season. So I think they're ahead of schedule when it comes to where they want to be. They should be definitely in the mix of thinking like we can win this division, right? We can win this division. I just talked about how they went to Dallas, how they went to San Fran. So they got tape out there. They got footage to show like that they belong. So Jordan Love getting his deal, you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to be a talking point. They're just going to be, playing ball, if you will. And Green Bay is dangerous. Green Bay, I want to say, as far as a team that we've seen, because obviously you always have a team that come out of nowhere that it's just like, whoa, what happened? But Green Bay is going to be that team that you could blink and they'll be 7-1. just like that. Just like that. That's the talent that they have, on this team. And personally, I think I'm hoping that they take a little bit of a step back, you know. But this is goes from this is what 40, 30. What is this? 35 years in the making. I don't know how Green Bay keeps getting these quarterbacks, man. I don't understand it, but I digress. So let's end this with my team, of course, the Detroit Lions. So the Detroit Lions, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, right? Because I think y'all know where I'm going, with this. This is the next step in the process. 2 years ago, I talked about them learning how to win. It took them half a season, and they finished with 8 wins or 9 wins or something like that. 9 wins. They finished with 9 wins. And then I talked about going into this season, living up to the hype or, the expectations that you have. And the expectation was to play better and be a better team than what you were before. And they lived up to that going to the NFC Championship game. Obviously, 1 game away, from the Super Bowl. So going into this for Detroit, I'm going to say this. I have never said this in my life as an adult, right? There's only one thing with Detroit. It's finish the process. Finish the journey. Super Bowl. I am here talking about the Super Bowl, right? And that is it. The way that they played a really good game in San Francisco. Props to San Francisco for coming back in that game. Detroit played a game where they could have won that and went to the Super Bowl, right? So now you are the hunted. Detroit is the hunted. You're not sneaking up on anybody. Everybody's looking at you, looking for you. Wants to measure themselves up and try and prove that last year was a fluke. So you have that ahead of you. But the goal is, and that's it. There's only one goal. It's Super Bowl. Now with what Detroit has done though, they have addressed what I felt was some weaknesses, and one of it was in the secondary. Right, going to get Tehran out of moving up in the first round to get him, adding Bates, Carlton, is it Carlton Bates or Carlton? Yeah, Carlton Bates. I was about to say somebody else that I know, but Bates from Tampa Bay. So and they've also picked up the kid from Missouri, and I'm drawing a blank right now, so I apologize. But they addressed their secondary, but then also they addressed that defensive line, right? Going to get DJ Reader out of Cincinnati. So this is to put more pressure because Jordan Love is Caleb Williams, even Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is light on his feet. Those are mobile quarterbacks that you're going to have to get home to, and also these other teams that you're going to be playing. You're going to be playing San Francisco again. You're going to be going against Brock Purdy. You're going to be playing against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. We know how mobile he is. So guys that they can get home, and then obviously we're going to be looking at, or I'm going to be looking at for Sam Laporta. I'm going to be looking at Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, all these guys, Jahmyr Gibbs, and probably the scariest person that's on this roster is Jameson Williams, man. Like if he reaches the potential that everybody thinks he can, this is going to be a nasty team. So Super Bowl, yeah, that's the expectations when it comes to the Detroit Lions. So I know they're gonna probably be some people, man, you crazy or whatever. Look, I haven't said anything like this ever before because I never felt we was in a position to talk about it. But we are in the position to talk about it now, or I feel that they're in a position to talk about it and strive for it. So going into this the NFC North, I'm going to say finishing out in 4th place in the NFC North is going to be, I think it's going to be the Minnesota Vikings, right? Followed by the Chicago Bears. Again, like I said, it's up and down, and that leaves 2 teams, and I think you know where I'm going. So it's going to be a battle for the division, but I do believe that Green Bay will finish in 2nd, and then that leaves the Detroit Lions in 1st because this is the time to finish that journey that they're on. And so they should be able to win that division. It won't be easy. It won't be a landslide because, again, all of those teams got something to say, in that division. but I do believe Detroit will be